Welcome, everybody. We should be live here in a couple seconds. Do, 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 do. We are live, episode 21 of Pick Our Brains. Just me right now. Max is going to be a little late, so I'm going to put a little thing in the chat. Max
Welcome,
should,
everybody.
well, I suppose I should mute my phone. Max will hopefully be here in a few minutes. And if you have any questions, throw them down in the chat. I'm going to open up a couple packages for y'all, some new arrivals at the bookstore. Let me just throw a quick thing in the chat. At least I hope he can figure out how to get in here. There we go. We got my message pinned. Well, I got a couple packages, um, books that just arrived today in the mail, so I'm going to show them off. And hopefully Max will be here in a few seconds. I just called him to ask where he was, and he's checking out at a store, I guess. So maybe he'll be with us in about 10 minutes. In the meantime, I'll show you what I've been buying lately. Vaverka in the chat. How's it going, Vaverka? Beautiful day in Wisconsin. I did my first outside run today. I ran 2 miles. I'm very much out of shape, but I survived. Most pleasant thing in the world. All right, first package. Like I said, Max is running a little bit behind today. He'll hopefully be here in the next 5 minutes. At least I think so. Yeah, I'm loving the spring weather in Wisconsin. A couple weeks ago it was like -20, and today it was like 45. So, all right, first one is Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Actually, I have a bunch of packages set aside. I'm going to do a complete um unboxing video maybe on Sunday. We'll see. Oh, Paper Gold in the chat. Hey, Max, are you almost home? Are you almost ready? 3 minutes away. Okay, Max will be here in 3 minutes. I love this copy. I don't think it's dated. It's early 1900s. Check it out. Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. You have the caterpillar smoking the hookah. And I don't know if you can see on this crappy camera, but there's little spider web design on the cover. Let me see if I can. Yep, see those little spider webs there? The whole background of the cover has spider webs. Me and Max are adamant about getting back on a schedule every Monday, so we made it last week and this week, so that's 2 weeks in a row. We should be every Monday from now on. Great classic John Tenniel illustrations. Don't rush, Max. I don't want you to get in a car accident on the way home. In the meantime, if any of you have any book related or book selling questions, put them in the chat. We're happy to answer all things eBay, whatnot, bookstore, Amazon related. I don't know anything about Amazon, but Max does. All right, there's the first one. Check in what's in the second box. Oh, this one's cool. So just one volume of a 5 volume set, I believe. But it is the life of George Washington, the early edition, early 1800s. Just an odd volume. That's all right. Actually, I might put this one on Whatnot. If you don't follow me, I'm Animal Vet 52 over on Whatnot. Some of you probably have no idea what Whatnot even is. It's a live video, live selling platform where basically I show off the items and auction them off live. It's pretty cool. So this is the life of George Washington, Commander-in-Chief of the American forces during the war, which established the independence of his country, and the first president of the U.S. By John Marshall. This is volume 4, 1805. Pretty solid condition considering it's 220 some odd years old. Pretty nice overall. Volume 4. Let's see. It looks like volume 4 covers 1779 to 1783. So right in the thick of the Revolutionary War. Very cool. Just an odd volume. And actually, I do have a complete set of those, but the leather binding is pretty darn brittle. I have that for sale at the bookstore. And look who we have. It looks like Max Ruback. Early edition, early 1800s. Can you turn? Is that your? Just an odd volume. That's all right. Yeah, turn your thing down. I might put this one on Whatnot. If you don't follow me, I'm Animal Vet 52 over on Whatnot. Some of you probably have no idea what Whatnot is. It's a live video, live selling platform where basically I show off the items and auction them off live. It's pretty cool. Can you turn me down on your phone? So this is the life of Animal Vet 52 over on Whatnot. Some of you probably have no idea what Whatnot is. It's a live video. Can you hear me? I can hear you. You were really loud on them.
Yeah, okay, hold on. I'm fixing everything. Hold on.
All right, back at it. Let me get my phone stand.
All right.
Welcome everybody to episode 21 of Pick Our Brains.
We are sponsored by Zevia Cola.
Zevia, very cool. Oh, I have we're also sponsored by Dr. Brown's Black Cherry.
No. We can't cross sponsor.
Okay, Zevia is our sponsor today.
They're paying us all of nothing.
I called Max about 4 minutes before we were supposed to start and asked if he was almost ready, and he said, "Oh, 5:45," and I'm like, "No, 5:30."
I don't know why I thought 5:45.
I don't know. We need to get back on schedule. That's the issue.
Oh, you're welcome, Viverka. You're welcome. I'm glad you finally got him.
Oh, the giveaway?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
We don't play around in Common Ground Finds Land. We don't play.
Yeah, we'll have to do a quarterly giveaway. I suppose we're coming up on
Why can't we do a weekly? You can't afford it, big dog?
I could. Yeah, we can do a daily giveaway if you want. Interesting thing. Tonight there is a copy of Pride and Prejudice Peacock Edition ending on eBay. It's an auction that I'm hopefully going to be bidding on.
I could do an unboxing today.
Whoa, who's that from?
Friends of the Sun City Libraries in Arizona.
Oh, so they sent you some consignments?
Yeah.
You wanna show us? Do you have any idea what's in there?
Yeah, let me print out a few labels first, just because Clenny is here and she's gonna get mad at me if I don't print out my labels.
Yeah, you got to keep Clenny busy.
Clenny, I got to keep you busy. If I showed you how much Clenny has to ship right now, y'all would.
Does she have to ship everything from yesterday's Whatnot auction?
And eBay, and eBay was busy yesterday.
Oh no! Darn, that sucks. I didn't have anything to I shipped everything that was paid last night during my eBay auctions, and then I don't think anyone paid overnight, so that was kind of nice.
Nobody has any questions for us?
No questions. They were all just waiting for you, I think.
I'm here.
Max is here.
I had lunch today with a paper golder who lives in Orlando, and he came down to do some business. So I had lunch with him. It was really fun. It's always great to actually get to see people face to face and not just on a computer screen.
Yeah.
So we had fun.
Cool. Interesting.
That you'll be in that position in a couple months when you come down to visit.
Yep. Yep. For sure. Actually, I've been getting all kinds of ads on Facebook for traveling out west,
Well,
taking train rides in the, I don't know, Rocky Mountains or something.
Can you start talking into your phone that you want to visit Florida so you get some deals so Big
Okay.
Brother hears you?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I don't really have any trips planned. I do want to go down to Driftless Books and buy some books down there, hopefully. I would like to go to Detroit this spring. I think a couple times a year they have a antiquarian book and paper show in Detroit, though they haven't scheduled it yet. And actually, I'm waiting to hear the dates of the Twin Cities book fair as well. I assume they have to, you have to
Yeah.
rent venue spaces. So I assume they know when they'll be, but they're waiting to put those dates out. The Twin Cities or the Minnesota one is usually in July. So I'm looking forward to going to that one. I don't think I'll be selling, but you never know.
I was gonna say you should sell. We should do it.
And honestly, like it's tough to quantify, if you're paying $500 to rent a space and a few hundred for hotels and gas and pay someone to work at my
Don't
bookstore.
let him kid you, everybody. He's a very successful bookseller. Don't let him kid you.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying that I don't know. I didn't make a ton of money. I didn't make much profit after all the expense after,
All right,
15.
let's be honest. Let's be honest. You were doing your taxes today, so you're in a bad mood about money.
Oh, don't even get me started. I think I almost have all my numbers together, but I'm like, okay, I got my PayPal 1099. Where the heck? I got it 2 months ago now. Where is that darn thing? So I just printed a fresh one. And my mileage log, I'm missing one of my mileage log sheets for the year, so I got to find that. At least I know my starting and ending mileage, but no, I just hate everything about taxes.
And I hope this week sometime we're going to be doing our whatnot talk.
Yep.
I
Hopefully.
hope so.
Yeah, me and Max are going to do a complete. It'll probably be an hour-long video.
We have new hacks to share with people. We have some ideas to share with people.
Yep, it's just going to be a recorded video, so I'll post it on the channel. It won't be live. But we're just going to talk about if you want to have a successful whatnot show, what you should do. And it really is fairly straightforward. There's people that do good things and there's people that don't do such good things.
It's just application, Ken, isn't it? Really just application.
Yep.
We've had bad shows, but we've learned from them.
Mm-hmm.
And to be honest with everybody, we talk about this stuff every day.
Yeah. Oh, one of the new revelations lately is that it seems like some of the Goodwill stores are hopping on Whatnot and doing live selling.
Yes.
Quite a few of them will sell the good stuff. Like I follow, I think it's Goodwill, the San Francisco Goodwill, and maybe the Seattle one. They have eBay pages where they're just auctioning off the jewelry and the fur coats and the video games and the good books.
They're cutting out the middleman is what they're doing. They're going straight to the buyer.
Yeah. I don't know. They need their local stores for drop off points for people to donate their old junk. But at this point, I don't know if anyone's sourcing at Goodwill's as a place to find inventory to make money on. Do you?
Well, because Goodwill's holding it all now.
Yeah. A lot of them.
I wonder how people in the chat feel about that.
Yeah. Got any thoughts on Goodwill?
Yeah, because that's for them to go on Whatnot. It's a little muddy to me. That's a little muddy because they already have their own auction site.
Well, I think sellers are already kind of sour to Goodwill, but the
Right.
buyers, I think will gladly go buy from them. But I think it's been for a while now. Goodwill, when you donate something to your local Goodwill, they truck it off to the distribution center where they sort it,
Right.
figure out how to get the most money for the really good stuff, and then mail the mediocre books and clothing back to the different branches to sell. But you're probably not going to find a designer handbag at your local Goodwill for sale. You're going to find
Not anymore.
You're going to find it on these people's websites. So that's kind of unfortunate.
Yeah. But I think it's fair to say, as we've said for a year now, you and I've said this, the marketplace is changing
Hmm.
and it's evolving and growing in different directions. And I think that people need to understand this. There's a lot of people who sell books or clothes or anything, and they still don't believe that the market's changing right under them.
Hmm. Yep. Verica says that Goodwill employees tend to misprice stuff, especially signed books and first editions. Yeah. Yeah, they're not book or clothing or antique experts at all. Um, so occasionally you can sneak a good book, and they're probably not even checking every book if it's signed or not. So you might.
If you are a non-barcode book person, you can make out like a bandit at Goodwill. You still nowadays you can.
Yeah, but I don't stop at Goodwill very, very seldom. But it seems like all the ones around here don't have antique books or Eastern Press. They have modern fiction, and that's about it.
I'm talking about the bins. I'm sorry. I'm talking about the
Okay,
Goodwill bins where they just dump the Gaylords into the bins
hmm.
and it's every man for himself. I keep saying it, but I should go to the bins and make a video of me going to the bins. I think a lot of people would probably enjoy watching me attack the bins, even though they see me kind of do it at Faith Farm.
Yeah, I want to see you go to the flea markets too and buy stuff.
I hope to bring you to the flea market.
That's one of my things this year. Um, I want to get a GoPro to record my scouting, whether it's going to bookstores or whatever. Though they're usually pretty clunky, and you either got to wear like one
There's
strap
plenty
to
of
your. Hi, Clenia. You either have to wear one like strapped to your chest or strapped to your hat or something. So I don't know. Most people are gonna be like, why is this guy walking around with a camera on his hat?
Well, when I go to the flea market and I go very early, I'm there about 5 in the morning.
Hmm.
There are people who have like miners helmets with the light,
Yeah,
and that's how serious they are.
of course.
So I'm gonna buy you a miner's helmet when we go.
Actually, when I went to Chicago last fall and was picking up some books and dropping some books off for Viverka, uh, I didn't even think the other bookseller that was there had a hat light. I'm like, darn, I'm such an amateur not bringing a darn light. You know when you're dealing in these warehouses and storage rooms and stuff, they're always dark and dingy and
Viverka, do you buy on does Viverka buy on whatnot?
not that I know of. She's bought some stuff from me on eBay. I don't know where
Yeah,
she's
I'd love
sourced.
to know who in our chat right now buys on whatnot.
Viverka actually she deals in early stuff like 18th century and earlier, preferably.
I had an 1815 book today.
Well,
Where was she?
1700s and earlier, 18th
Oh, okay.
century. She likes the early stuff. Yeah, I'd be curious where all the resellers are buying stuff. I think local sources are kind of limited for most people. You know, most bookstores you go to and the book dealers are looking up everything. So it's you get lucky, I think, if you find one that you can make money on.
Here's an idea for a video. A day in the life, but so much so people watch me price books. They watch me do a little bit of Amazon. They watch me open up a box from a consigner.
Hmm.
They watch me do a books run. Like you can sort of do everything in a couple hours and show everybody what you do.
Yeah. Yeah, I did when I made a day in the life video, it was mostly focused on my work regarding the listing and selling process, whether it's me shipping, taking photos, descriptions, and then listing, and then sending invoices at the end of the day. But I didn't focus at all on me scrolling through eBay and finding some deals and making offers. That would be really interesting. The way I haggle with certain sellers, and some of them just decline my offers, some accept, some counter.
Yeah.
That's a
There's
whole,
so much you and I would love to show people
yeah.
behind
The
the scenes.
just the how flexible different booksellers on eBay are, I think is really interesting. The ones that take best offers.
Mhm.
Um, You can kind of assume that people, the high-end dealers that have really good inventory, maybe will give you 10% off, maybe 15 if you're lucky. But someone that's just a general reseller, especially if it's something that's been listed for a while, I think you can offer them 50%
Right.
off, and they might take it. They might try to squeeze a little bit more out of you.
Hmm.
How flexible do you think you are with your, like, okay, freshly listed inventory versus stuff that's been listed 2 years?
You know, I love this question. This is one of my favorites. So I need to rewind. So for people who have never been to my eBay store, if I have a book that's priced at $45, I don't do a double zero at the end. If I list the book this year in 2025, I sell the book for 45.25. If I listed the book in 2024, that same book would have been 45.24. If that same book would have been listed in 2021, it would have been listed at 45.21. So those two digits help me determine when someone sends me an offer, how long that book is sitting on the shelf and how aggressive I can be to accepting an offer. That's really it for me. If I list a book today, 0.25, and let's say I list it for $45 and someone offers me 25 for it, I'm probably not going to take that 25. But I would counter at 35 to 38
Yeah.
just because it just got listed.
And I will say, especially the more expensive stuff that has been around for a little while, maybe someone makes you a lowball offer. I'm sure you do this as well. You might want to go and see what else is listed currently, because when you listed 2 years ago, the comps right now and the recent sold comps are going to
Mhm.
be different. For sure, they're going to be different. They could be higher, could be lower, could be pretty close to the same. So a lot of times it is worth rechecking your prices if you're getting an offer on a book that's been around for a few years.
Yeah, Thursday night on Paper Gold, I'm going to be talking about another hack that I've never talked about on pricing.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, it's really about checking prices of inventory you already have.
Oh, okay.
Um, and people with smaller stores, 3,000 and under, this will be very easy for them. But we'll be talking about it Thursday night.
Well, here's an interesting experiment maybe we should try, because I know there's a few people in the Paper Gold group, at least one, Mr. Art Turner, uh,
Is Art here
that
now?
are he could be. Art, are you in the chat? Let us know. He uses AI to price some of his stuff.
Yes.
Now, it would be really interesting. And you know what? It's tough because if me and you both had the same book, sometimes you ask me like, "Hey, can you look up comps for this, or what would you price it at?" And we get asked that all the time in Paper Gold. How should I price this book? And if most people, you're either maybe you're in the $200 to $300 range,
Mhm.
maybe you're in the $40 to $50 range. It's not going to be like one person says, "Oh, list it for 50," and another says, "List it for 500." It's not going to be
Mhm.
that dramatic. But everyone does have a little bit different strategy based on what has sold, and especially if there aren't any sold, that makes it extra difficult.
Yeah,
And
there's
you also have to factor in condition, and that's one of the toughest things that the eBay algorithm
yeah.
doesn't take into consideration is a first edition Catcher in the Rye. A beat up copy versus a perfect one with a dust jacket is going to be just astronomically different. You seem distracted.
I'm looking at the chat.
Oh,
I see there's 7 people here, but for Verker's the only, oh, and General Merch are the only people to talk to.
listed to sell. Yeah, that's we
Mhm.
talked about this in the strategy circle a couple of weeks ago about not some people have the strategy of overpricing and then put it on sales and then even take offers on that. Um, I think that most buyers are somewhat savvy to know when you're way overpricing everything. At least I'm savvy enough. I think you're savvy enough to when you go to an eBay store, you know that, oh, based on this book and this book and this book, this is just a seller that asks twice as much as it's worth. So I'm going to offer him 50%. But I will say when I had my buy it nows, I was just cranking up the prices up and up and up because
Mm.
people were offering less and less and less. So if you
But the
the
middle of last year, you talked about doing more buy it nows.
Mhm.
So what changed your mind?
I have a few things set aside to list as buy it nows. I just haven't taken the time to list them. Um, I suppose if I had more free time, and then plus, I have about 40 buy it nows at this point, and if they don't sell in the first couple months, I don't think they're gonna sell. I think they kind of disappear in the search results, and
Yeah, you and I don't see eye to eye on that. I sold
yeah,
the book today. I sold the book today. It's from 2021.
yeah. But I think fresh inventory is always,
Mhm.
um, yeah. I don't know if I think if I was doing buy it just strictly buy it nows and no auctions, I would definitely have to figure out how to hack the system to keep items from getting stale. We have 11 people in the chat. Does anyone have any questions? You want to talk about eBay, Amazon, whatnot, Dibdit, Mercari, Poshmark?
Did. Are we talking about that? My gosh.
Hey, why don't we? It'd be interesting to sign up for Dibdit. Well, the only problem is Dibdit is basically a smaller scale one. It's a growing whatnot competitor, I would say. They talk about how there are a few competitive advantages, which one of the things we love about whatnot is that the second the item sells, it charges the person's credit card or PayPal or
Mhm.
whatever. So you're guaranteed you're always getting paid right away. They're automatically calculating the shipping. But Dibdit, one of the things that are different, it's still a live selling platform, but it will allow you, if someone wants to buy things for a week at your different auctions throughout the week and then combine shipping, it allows you to do that. But as a seller and as a buyer too, the combined shipping and all of that stuff is just so simple that at the end of the show, everything's paid for. Don't have to worry about getting an invoice and paying and stuff. Don't have to worry about how much your heavy box is going to cost. It's already you already
How
paid
did
for it.
they master it so well? And eBay, who's been in business forever, can't master this.
Yeah,
It's
eBay's.
it's it's incredible.
Yeah, I was telling you about some weird eBay glitch. I forget what night it was last week that my auctions were ending and about 20 out of the 30, it wasn't showing up in my sold. I
Mhm.
wasn't getting the email that said this sold, and it wouldn't let me, even though I had the item opened and it said it's sold, it wouldn't let me send an invoice until about 2 hours later. The email started coming in. I was able to send
Right.
invoices and people were able to pay. And actually, I reached out to customer service and they said that they had put in a um, technology ticket or whatever the heck you call it. So this was a known issue that was going on.
What do you think? This is an interesting conversation. What do you think the problem is with eBay? Not buying and selling, but just the glitch, the consistent glitches all over the place.
Well, I think me and you have talked about this, how
I
they're
had eaten
really
already.
they're focusing on promoted listings to get more fees out of people without increasing the total sales on the platform. They're getting more fees out of less sales and less sellers. And they're so focused on that. And I think the back end technology, eBay's so screwed at this point that yeah, Viverka says bug report. The back end technology is so screwed that it's at least once a month that the shipping labels aren't working or something's off. You had a crazy glitch where it wasn't even putting buy it nows on some of your items, and multiple people in our group saw that on your items that you couldn't even find a buy it now button.
Yeah, I talked about it in a paper gold meeting, and then some people went on to my site. I didn't ask them; they did it, and they told me what was going on. And then 2 weeks later, eBay finally admitted that had been on, but they didn't admit it for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Until it was going
I
on.
didn't read. They put out some kind of comment. I don't know even know if it was in the community chat or what it was about admitting that they were having these issues weeks after. Uh, it's not good. And I notice all kinds of weird because I buy a lot on eBay, so I'm always searching. And like I'll go to your store and maybe not a store that's as big as yours, because so
Mhm.
I'll notice it if they have 50 items in their store, and I'll be scrolling, and instead of just taking me through the 50 listings, it'll be duplicates of like some I already scrolled past. So it's
Yep.
like, okay, I need to make sure I actually see every item in your store.
Is the site too big? Does it
Um,
need to be cleaned out from old stock, old sellers, blah, blah, blah?
yeah. And that's another thing is when you search something, there's all kinds of results that are just stock photos and people selling reprints of stuff. So that kind of, I wish they would kind of clean that out. And I've heard that's even a bigger issue over on ABE books where 95 per, you know it when you go comp something on ABE books and 95% of them are reprints from China, and you kind of have to, I usually when I'm comping something out ABE, I search highest price and then scroll down until you get to the cheap $30-$40 reprints.
You know what else would be a good show?
What?
If we went 7 o'clock my time. When does your auctions begin selling? At 6 p.m. your time?
Yeah. So 7
We
yours.
should do a show where it's live that all of your items are selling on auction and you can talk about each one as it ends and what it sold for. And then I guess I can talk about what sold for me in the past 24 hours.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I like
So
that
we would
idea.
have to change the time, but I think that'd be a fun show.
Maybe we'll have to do this offshoot, do like a, I don't know, Friday, Saturday night.
Could we have a third screen open up with a camera pointing at your eBay screen so people can watch the numbers?
Maybe I know you can share your screen, and I think you can have your head up in a little. We'll have to practice in a meeting.
That would be a great show.
Yeah, I think we could have most of the screen be my eBay pulled up or your eBay pulled up to show your sold, and then a
Mhm.
little heads up top.
And then people can see the buy it now stuff that I had, and then your auction live.
Mhm. And I'd love to talk about every item and be like, okay, that was cheap. Oh man, I got a really good, great price for that. It's always interesting. I think typically people get excited about auctions, especially low starting price auctions, because they think they're going to get the deal.
Mhm.
And what about you? Okay, you sold 10 books today, right? On Whatnot.
Nine actually. I miscounted. I did nine.
What do you think? You had two signed Anne Rices, you had a signed Ray Bradbury's. Did you comp all that stuff out beforehand?
I mean, I just, I've been doing it so long. I know the general price.
Yeah.
I like doing that show on Monday. It's usually 10 books and it's a half-hour show normally. And people are getting some deals. They're getting some deals, but it makes for a great show. And again, if you source well, it doesn't matter. I mean, let's be transparent. I did in 20 minutes, I did 469. And then yesterday, in comparison, I did a 2 hour show and did 1100. So that's an interesting dichotomy of numbers right there. Would you rather do a 2 hour show and hit 4 digits or do a quick show and do 3 digits? How
I'd rather
important is
I'd
time
rather
for
just
you?
do a quick show. If you could source 10 good high quality books and
Mhm.
sell $400 to $500
Yeah.
for just a quick half hour of work, I think everyone would prefer
I
that.
love that. And Monica's here, Monica Farrow. Hello, Monica.
Hey,
Uh,
Monica.
what I would also add to that conversation though is no the the half-hour show is not better than the 2 hour show or vice versa. They're all good shows. Um, but just the idea of being able to make hundreds and hundreds of dollars in 20 minutes to me is a game and a life changer for people. And that's what you and I try to get across to people.
Yeah, but most people would never put a signed Ray Bradbury up for $1.
Right.
Even
Yeah.
though
Yeah.
if you preloaded that in your Whatnot show and shared it a bunch and told
Mhm.
people you were gonna have that, they would get really excited and it would
Right.
bring uh
But
Very
I think it sold for a pretty good dollar. I think it sold for about $85. That's a pretty good for for a non for a Franklin library that isn't a popular Ray Bradbury title.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a difference.
Yeah.
General Merch says, do you think people that promote their listings take into consideration the buyer that sorts low, high shipping? So, duh, duh, duh. Well, I think when you're promoting a listing, it's always depending on like if someone search signed Stephen King there might be say there's 15 results. The promoted one, as long as eBay thinks it's the most likely one to sell and they're going to get the most fees, they're going to put that at top.
Yeah.
Now, if there's a different one that they think is more likely to sell because it's cheaper, they might put those first. But otherwise, I don't think even if someone is sorting by cheapest, I think the promoted one still might show up first.
Yeah, this is another thing we don't see eye to eye on.
Yeah. Yeah, Max is very anti promoted listings. I mean, I don't do it, but I'm not anti it just because most people, if you have $100 book and you're running 10% off, you're doing a 10% off sale. I don't look at that as any different than someone that's paying 10% promotion, and eBay's going to get an extra $10, whereas you're giving the seller a $10 discount. I guess Max hates it because eBay's getting the extra money, right?
And I don't believe it. I don't believe that it works that way. So if we were selling Levi's jeans, if we're selling Levi jeans and we and 30 people, which is valid, are selling the same size and same 505 Levi jeans, same
Yep.
size, and everybody promotes at 5%, then what?
Then eBay's going to get their cut no matter who sells it.
I rest my case.
I don't know if that was I'm not convinced.
By the way, we have 20
Not
people in the
guilty.
chat. We have 20 people in the chat.
No, I only see 10.
Really?
Oh, we do have 20. Holy buckets. I just refreshed. Welcome in Tracy. Hey, Tracy's in the group. Tracy, you have to come to a Thursday meeting. Thursday nights at 7 p.m. Central. They're a lot of fun.
8 Eastern.
Yeah, he's Central though. Max,
We're
yeah,
Central.
he's Central as well.
Yes.
Yeah, 8 Eastern if anyone's East Coast. Well, we don't have any questions. No questions today.
Do they not realize we started the show to answer people's questions?
That's true. Some days we get lots of questions, some days not so much.
I just sold another yearbook. And this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
From 1907 yearbook.
What is it, a college or high school?
St. John's College in Annapolis, Maryland.
1907. Yeah, I know you love yearbooks. I never really got into selling them unless they're like early 1900s. I know like people will okay, I want to go buy grandma's old yearbook or one from mine when I was in the 80s and I lost it. We got Wardell in the chat. We have Whittier Tennyson.
Wardell's got a very expensive magazine he found today.
Oh, really?
Ask him about it. Yeah.
Did he put it in the Discord yet?
No.
Wardell, what did you get? Not the Maryland. Did he get the Maryland?
He has a Wii magazine, OUI.
That's a French, yep.
The one with Demi Moore on the cover when she was 17 and lied about her age.
Uh-oh. What's that worth?
I'm gonna have Wardell put it in the chat for everybody.
Okay, we got chats rolling in. What's the difference between good plus and very good minus? Oh man, the sellers that do good plus, good minus. Well, what do you think, Bax?
Good plus to me, in comparison to a very good, is a dust jacket or a board issue.
So it might have some stains.
Very good would have less damage to the dust jacket.
Okay, yeah. I would say complete minimal, like absolutely minimal chipping, a little bit of wear along the
Or
edges.
bump to the dust.
Yeah,
Like the Ann
yeah,
Rice I sold today was so mint. That Ann Rice was so mint. There was
yeah.
no issues to it.
Wardell says $4,000 plus for the Demi Moore. Holy buckets!
Ask
Was it graded?
Wardell,
Where'd you
ask
get it graded?
Wardell who taught him about that magazine.
He's got to get it graded. I assume if it's worth that much, you got to get it graded. Um, yeah, I wouldn't recommend doing good plus, good minus, good, very good minus, stuff like that. Just do, and everyone's different, but I do poor, which means really rough, covers falling off. Fair, good, very good, near fine. I hardly ever use near fine. Even if it's Easton Press and it looks spotless, I still am hesitant to say near fine.
We better refresh. We got a load of questions now.
Okay, okay, let me check it. You want to read some or you want me to?
Well, I think first you should talk about Whittier's here from Finland. Hello, Whittier.
Mm-hmm.
Roy Moore says something very interesting. And then Monica, we definitely got to hit Monica and Viverka's questions.
Okay. Roy says that he has been selling on eBay since 2014 and promoted listings don't help his sales. Wow. Well, and that's the trouble is because people have so slow sales, so they think, okay, I have to promote. And then they promote and maybe they see a little bump in their sales. So, I mean, there's plenty of people that me and Max both know that swear by I just need to promote everything at 10% or 5% or 3%. And I just have to do it because if I don't do it, my sales are going to crater and my business is going to die. I don't know. I mean,
Can we admit this? Can we admit that eBay is definitely putting effort and time into trying to put the fear in sellers to promote? Would you agree
yeah,
to that?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you called because you had like a couple was it one crazy slow day that never should have happened?
Mhm.
And you asked them about it and they refreshed your page, whatever that means. But their first thing to you was, "Oh, are your promotions working okay?" And you said, "I don't promote." So that's and there's all kinds of weird new you're getting emails, you're getting pop-ups on your phone app and on your computer app and your sales central saying, "Hey, promote here, promote here." When you list an item, it's telling you, "Oh, are you better promote this?" So they're working very hard on pushing sellers to promote listings. Though I think most sellers maybe they'll try it and if it doesn't work, they're going to quit selling. And even if it does work, paying an extra 10% fees, I mean, nah, sellers feel like fees are already too high. They don't an extra 5 or 10%. All right. Monica says, I've recently bought an estate sale collection of books that I knew nothing about, but excited to get 25 vintage books on bullfighting and on Chinese jade. Any thoughts?
Ooh, yeah, send them to me to sell for you.
Well, if you need any help, you could definitely join the Paper Gold group. Max,
Yeah. Great subjects though, huh?
you wanna show us your yellow paper?
Bullfighting and Chinese jade.
Chinese jade is killer. I bet if you put the Chinese jade books on eBay, they'd sell overseas for sure.
Grayson's hair.
Yeah, definitely worth checking out. Oh man, I got to scroll down to see all the comments. Check out Patreon Paper Gold. Um, it's a great group to ask sellers about pricing and how to list and where to list and all that fun stuff.
Monica, what did you pay for the books? I'm yelling at Monica like she's far away, literally.
All right. Whittier says Oscar movies were not very interesting this year, in my opinion, except for the one from Iran credited to Germany. I don't know. I don't think I
Oh
watched.
yeah, yes.
You know what movie she's talking about?
Yeah, I forget the name of it, but yeah. But you know what? A lot of talk was with the Brutalist. The Brutalist got a lot of chit chat.
What was that one about? Oh, wasn't that one about that one really sad, wasn't it?
The German architect.
You told me about this?
No, but you should know about it.
I heard it's really depressing. That's all I heard. Okay, what happened? Give us a 20-second.
No, no.
Why don't you? All I heard is the whole movie is sad and don't watch it. That's all I heard. But the critics and the
Don't you watch horror movies for fun?
I do. Yeah. Unless it's Ghost. I'm not a huge fan of Ghost movies.
Is that because you live in a bookstore?
Next to a cemetery. Yeah. No, zero fear. Like I've been very lucky. There's no bumps in the night or weird things like that.
Poltergeist 3, the
Yeah.
bookstore.
Yeah. Grayson says that he is doing taxes right now. I decided to hit up Mark for help. What is Mark's tax group?
Not your average, not your dad's CPA.
Yep, that sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
Find him on Instagram or Facebook, I assume.
Yep. Tell him you're a paper golder. He'll love you.
Monica says that she paid $3 to $8 each. Yeah, I bet a lot of those are going to be $50 to $200, depending how rare they are.
I have been doing this a long time, and I may have found 5 bullfighting books in 25 years. You just don't see them. I would also check to see if anything is signed on those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great subjects. Vaverka says, nah, Brutalist is too sad. So okay, give us a quick synopsis. He was an architect.
German
architect.
You know how you hate brutalist architecture?
I'm gonna Google it. Is that like
No,
modern
brutalist architecture, the stuff you hate. Straight lines, square.
Yeah, some like it looks like parking ramp garages. Like parking ramps. Except that when you Google it, it shows all kinds of weird, wonky ones that, are a little more artistic.
Right.
No, parking ramps, the modern architecture like parking ramps are made to kill our souls. That's my theory.
Don't get him started, everybody. Do not get him started on this, please.
Grayson is going through my sales, and it's interesting to see what was profitable and what were huge losses. I had some pretty big losses. And some big wins. Grayson was going to mail a book to one of the auction houses, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he mentioned that in the Discord, I think. Or did he mention it on this show?
Might have put it in the chat. It maybe both. Did you get anywhere with that, Grayson? Whittier says that Hell is a great film directed by Tasumi Kamashiro.
Whittier, you're talking to Ken. You're talking to the wrong person.
Way over my head, but Max loves it. Max loves this. Monica says the Matador one was phenomenal. Several are signed. Okay, that's great.
She's gonna make so much money.
That's gonna be easy profit. Yep.
Did she post those in Discord? Monica, did you post those on Discord? I don't
think so. Post some pictures in Discord, Monica. I don't think so.
I haven't seen that on Discord.
I haven't checked today, but I didn't see them. Whittier says concrete boxes for the win. No. Nope. Vaverka says basically shoe boxes on scale. Yep. Yeah. Brutalist. Root means stupid in Latin. Okay. Yep. Codex. Thank you. Appreciate that. Stupid. Whittier says Soviet space age is the best style in building. Okay, I'm gonna Google Soviet space age.
Grayson said he sent the Gulliver's Travels to Sotheby's.
Okay.
Great. June auction.
Yeah, Brutalist is very Soviet depressing. Okay, Soviet space age. I could get into that. That's kind of cool.
The atomic age.
Yep. We were just talking. What were we just talking about? The atomic age.
Was it lamps or something?
I don't think it was lamps. It was I don't remember. My worst loss was a Hawaiian New Testament. Overpaid a lot and should have waited on it. Just sent it to an auction and it did not go well. Uh-oh. Shucks. Wasn't that Grayson that was saying that some of these auction houses that you send stuff to, if it doesn't sell, they're charging you $500?
Yeah, Grayson, Grayson, contact me when you're going to do that next time, and I'll teach you the ins and outs of that.
Yeah, Max has a really good.
I work with Doyle's auction and I
Yeah.
never have a problem.
Okay, Monica says that she's in the group but hasn't been active yet. Hey, Monica, you should definitely come to the Thursday meetings. They're a lot of fun. They're really informative. Yeah, no, definitely come to the Thursday night meetings. Oh, Grayson did an eBay auction and it wasn't good. Um, Grayson says if he ever gets nuclear weapons material, let me know and I'll probably buy it. Oh, if we ever get nuclear weapon material. Oh, I have some nuclear chemistry books from the 60s and 70s, maybe.
That might be up his alley.
Bavarica says I once sold a Mohawk New Testament for 600 profit. Yeah, any of the Indian, the Navajo Bibles and dictionaries, the early ones, are really profitable. Oh, what was the other? There was a weird dictionary. I don't remember. I know the native ones go crazy. The Hawaiian New Testament was an eBay auction. I hit up Doyle's and they spoke to Edward for other books. Okay. Who do you talk to with Doyle's?
Edward.
Oh, okay. Perfect. Grayson already has talked to Edward.
Awesome. You can
Yeah.
throw my name out, Grayson, if you want.
Yeah, I was tempted to send my Edgar Allan Poe, the early printing of the Raven, to Hindman Freeman's auction in Pennsylvania, just because on Worth Point they were the ones that had sold other early copies of the Raven. But I didn't like his estimate. And I think he estimated at 500 to 750. I think it would have brought much more than that, but that's just my inclination. I mean, he's a auction expert. He sells a lot of books every year, but my inclination was that. And as a seller, you always think your stuff's worth more, but
The just mistake we make in this business, and it affects us all. We all do it,
and actually
especially when we first find it.
I sold it to a local customer for 2,000. So I guess I was right. I found one customer that would pay me more. All right. Any other last questions? We've been live for 42 minutes, 16 people watching. That's a great turnout. Sometimes it just takes a little while to warm up.
Well, I was late too, so
Yeah, they might have thought we started at 5:45. Grayson has had better experience with Sotheby's so far. Very prompt communication. Okay. I've reached out to Heritage about a couple things and they seem to be pretty slow in responding and even getting any answer at all. So
yeah. But they're also one that advertises the most, and so they probably get the most the most questions all the time.
Yeah.
Their inbox is probably an explosion.
Okay, last chance for questions. And Max, I'm going to give you an update on the Pride and Prejudice Peacock edition that ends tonight on eBay. It ends in 1.5 hours.
No, before you give us where it's at now, let's have people in the chat take a guess of what the current price is right now. Everybody in the chat, put the current price in now, and Kent will tell us in 1 minute.
And what you think. Okay, it's an 1894 first edition Peacock edition. In good condition. Maybe the inside hinges are splitting, but the covers and spine look great. No damage to pages or anything. So I would say good plus condition. Maybe very good, because people are a little wishy-washy with grading these. Yeah, what do you think? It ends in 1.5 hours, and hopefully next week I'll get it in the mail and show it off to you live next week. But I don't know. We'll see. See what the Grayson. I'm hopefully gonna be bidding on a 1894 Pride and Prejudice Peacock edition on eBay. Vivek has a question. What book do you dream of randomly finding? I would love to find early Jane Austen, like the 1830s Jane Austen first editions.
Yeah, mine is definitely Salinger's Catcher in the Rye first edition, first printing. For many reasons, but when I was in college and a literature student, and I had become a little fascinated with Salinger outside of Catcher in the Rye, I would start looking for his uncollected short fiction in old magazines. So I have a little bit of a nostalgic tie to that. So,
I think some early Salinger.
yeah.
All right, Tracy says 1500 and Grayson says 23. Well, I think those are both reasonable. I don't think it's quite going to bring that much. Quick. It ends in an hour and a half. It's at $1,060. I'm the
1,070.
I'm the backup bidder right now. I'm estimating it should for sure bring 1,500. Everyone's asking 3,000 plus for it. Though when you put it up for auction, I doubt it's going to bring over 2,000. I'm guessing it's going to bring 1,500. I don't think I want to pay 1,500 for it. If it goes less than that, I'll probably throw another bid out there.
He'll pay it, guaranteed. Watch.
I already have one, and I just sold one, so I don't need another. But
Grayson would like to find an early Frankenstein, which is, I can understand that. That is phenomenal, phenomenal, and underrated book. It's not actually a novel, it's an epistolary. Frankenstein is a series of letters.
okay,
It's an epistolary, and it is, and Frankenstein, of course, is the doctor, not the monster. It's Dr. Frankenstein.
what's the monster's name? Does he even have a name?
Has no name.
Huh, I always thought the monster
Yeah,
was.
yeah. But that's how we grew up. We grew up with like the cartoon of Frankenstein being, but no, it's the doctor. It's Dr. Frankenstein, and it's a phenomenal book because it's just a series of letters, and so
Yeah.
through the letters is how you get the story of the monster.
Okay, I took a screenshot of America says 1370. I'm thinking 1370 to 1,500 is gonna be spot on what it's gonna bring. Viverica wants to find an Eliot Bible. I don't know what one that one is. I assume it's a very early Bible.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a quote inside Frankenstein, which for some reason at that point in time in my life when I read it hit me, and I haven't never forgotten it. And it was nothing is so tragic to the human mind as a great and sudden change.
What is that from?
Frankenstein.
Oh, Tracy says that the wretch is what the monster is called. I did not know that. Bum, bum, bum. Grayson has never heard the term epistolary.
Epistolary. Letters. Letters is writing.
Max was English literature, literature major, so he uses certain words that.
Nerd.
Yeah, he's a nerd. All right, great show. Wrap it up. Thank you, everybody. Oh, Viveka says that the Eliot Bible is the first native language Bible. Grayson says, I have a favorite Frankenstein quote too, Max. Well, what is it, Grayson?
Drum roll, please.
Let him see if he can find it. Oh, and also, so I would say Frankenstein and Dracula books. Someone else I think brought up Dracula. Frankenstein and Dracula books. I think prices are sky high if you can find them. How's it going, Verbena? She just doesn't look too impressed to be on camera. Yeah, thank you, Viverica. Thanks for coming. We gotta wait for Grayson's quote, and then we're gonna wrap this up.
Okay. I'm gonna go cook a steak on the grill when we're done.
I can't say that I have a favorite Frankenstein quote. I've never read it. For a book deal, I'm very unwell read. That's a way of putting it.
We hit 23 people today.
It was a great one.
Good job.
We got lots of good questions. Sometimes it just takes a little while to roll in. It's a whole paragraph.
but that book is so good. I understand that it is written. Grayson will understand this. It's written so eloquently. The letters are poetry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll have to read it tonight. All right. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you. See you next Monday at 4:30 Central.